We're back, and this is what's left of that Summit Racing Cougar. Carl Baker back in the pit area tries to assess the situation.
First time I've ever put a scratch on a race car. Felt like it was a real good run going down the track. I never saw Steve, and I actually went up to get the chutes out a little bit early, right before the finish line, and I felt like the chutes didn't come out. First thing I thought is, well, this track is really long. I'd have no trouble getting it stopped, and then all of a sudden it just took off. I mean, it was like something to pick the back of the car up and just, it was all over. I mean, it's just like slow motion when you do something like that. You really can count the times it goes over. It went over 3 or 4 times, I think, and then it stopped for a while, and you go, well, this is done, you know, and then it starts again. So it must be in the air when you have that slight pause there. I'm fine. I'm a little bit sore. You know, the Summit Cougar right now is I don't know if it's repairable. It's beat up pretty good. I'll just have to regroup and see if we can put something together for next week at Budds Creek.
So with Carl Baker not being able to continue, John Montecalvo, who got past Elijah Morton in round 2, will have a bye run in the semis.
Sunoco Pro Stock champ Gene Wilson will take on Tim Neighbors, who defeated Jason Collins.
We now move on to funny car action, round 2.
Number 1 qualifier, Dale Brent, claims he's got his supercharger situation straightened out.
Well, they'll be put to the test right here against Lori Canister, that Girl Power Camaro Wolf Racing team qualifying 9th this weekend. Neither one of these two can afford a round 2 exit and still maintain any hopes of staying in the points race. Brand near, Canister far, Carquest Autumn Nationals. And in the tree, it's the Girl Power Camaro. Dogfight in Rockingham right now. Who's got it? It's Dale Brand at the finish line, 592 with a 6.
Let's take another look. You know, Lori Canister takes the starting line advantage, then Dale Brent gets out of shape. Look at him go. But then that Brad Anderson horsepower takes over, and he just drives around the Girl Power.
Oh, man, I knew she's going to be tough. That's a great team. I'm scared to death every time I pull up beside them. You never know what they're going to do. You know they're capable.
Well, some people are sweating you right now. You're going to the semis, and you've regained some early season form, Dale. What do we expect out of you?
Well, we want to keep standing on it. We started out the season strong, went through a bad slump there in the middle of the season, and I think we're back, but time will tell. We'd like to finish out strong here at the end of the year.
We'll see you in the semis.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
All right, well, no underscoring the importance of this next matchup. Mark Thomas in the Ethanol Performs Dodge Avenger along with crew chief Jim Layton. They are 4-1 on the season against this man, Jimmy Rector.
Rector did finally beat Thomas at the Amelie North American Nationals in New Hampshire. The winner of this race has the opportunity to pile on some points while the loser sits helplessly in the pits observing.
Rector near lane, Thomas far lane. It's a close one at the tree, and it looks like Mark Thomas will pull away and move on. So Mark Thomas with a huge step in his quest for his 5th overall world championship.
Just like Dale Brent in the race right before this, Rector gets a little out of shape in the near lane. Then Thomas shakes the tires. But at the end, Thomas and Leip have enough for a little payback from New Hampshire.
That was an important round. There's no doubt about it. We shook the tires a little bit. You know, it is important. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of pressure, and you get in the car and you get psyched up, and then we had to crash, and you got to get out of the car, and you kind of change your momentum a little bit, but that was an important one, no doubt about it.
So Jimmy Rector in desperate need of a little help here in Rockingham. Will it be John Burrows or perhaps Dale Brand to help Rector stem the tide and take out the fast farmer?
You know, we'll just have to take this and go on. You know, he's got 2 tough rounds left. If he was to win, you know, it'll put him up three rounds, I think. But that's, you know, you just got to knock him out in the next 2. But, you know, if he was to go out next round, I mean, it's virtually all you got to do is win the next 2 races and everything will be fine.
So some tall marching orders for Mr. Rector as we follow this points chase all the way down to the wire. Enjoying the IHRA today? You can enjoy it even more on your computer. Check out IHRA.com. IHRA Summit Drag Racing continues. This was the scene in Gene Wilson's pit earlier, celebrating with some of his hometown buds here at the Rock after claiming his first ever IHRA Summit Sunoco Pro Stock Championship with that win in round 2.
Wilson's crew chief, Gary Henry, and the rest of the Don Smith Ford race team can now set their sights on Bob Glidden's IHRA mark of 8 wins in a season.
Wilson taking on hometown boy Tim Neighbors in semifinal action. Wilson 29-2 on the year, beat Neighbors in the finals at the Carquest Empire Nationals in New York. That was the only time these two met this year. Looking down the quarter mile with the bad cat, Gene Wilson. Here we go. We're ready to go. Semifinal action. Neighbors near lane, Wilson in the far.
Good start. Problems for Neighbors. Gets out of the groove. Wilson charging down that quarter mile. 6:61 is his winning time. He ran a 6:61 in round 1 and a 6:60 in round 2.
But he'll have to get past John Montecalvo in what's a rematch of our finals from the Amalie North American Nationals in New Hampshire.
We'd like to come out in the final round and make a decent hit. John Montecalvo, we raced him in Epping, and we were lucky enough to win that race. And so he owes me one, and I know he'll be gunning, and I will be too. Couldn't think of a better person to race in the final round than old Monty.
We definitely have this car dialed in, and you know, the Sitco car has been flying all weekend. Last couple of races it's been flying. Sonny Lennox making good power with these motors, and we're on our way.
And we're on our way to funny car semifinal action. John Burroughs qualified number 3. Burroughs had a bye last round, but ran a 5.96 in round 1.
Meanwhile, Mark Thomas can start stockpiling points and build on his points lead against Jimmy Rector. Now, these two have only met one time this year, and that was at Cordova. And Thomas won that one.
It's Burroughs at the tree. Both cars moving around a little bit. Oh, and a little bit of smoke out of Burroughs. Mark Thomas. This could be a big break for the 4-time champ, building on that points lead.
Burroughs took a little starting line advantage on this race. As you can see, both cars moved around as they moved down the track, having a little difficulty handling these cars. And then that smoke that we saw earlier coming out of Burroughs' car at the end was probably a burned piston. That's probably what gave Mark Thomas the advantage.
Nonetheless, Mark Thomas moves on. So next up, all eyes turn to Dale Brand. Can he rebound with a return trip to the finals after 3 disappointing races? The surprising Ron Midget out of Virginia Beach in the K&W Racing Pontiac Firebird. Midget took out number 4 qualifier Fred Tigas in round 2. Brand near, Midget far. Oh, and Dale Brand breaks.
Yeah, but what really broke was Rector's heart. He was counting on Brand to take out Thomas in the final.
He sure was. What a break for Ron Midget, who is standing tall, making it to his first final in over a decade. And a huge disappointment for the number 1 qualifier, Dale Brand, who might have had something for Mark Thomas in the finals.
Well, you know, anytime you're depending on somebody else, that's why I don't even watch. You know, it looks like it's his day, but there again, you never know. That's why you run the race. You know, even if he wins, he leaves here 4 rounds ahead of me. So about 3.5 rounds. So bottom line is he can go out first round Bud Creek and I'll win it, and I'll leave her in the points lead. So I mean, it's still going to be a battle.
First final of the year, you got a big one up ahead of you, Mark Thomas. You're in a 5.91 or 92. He's got you covered a little bit. Can you step on it?
Yeah, we got more. We've been beating on this thing pretty hard, so it was bound to come sooner or later, I guess.
And meanwhile, over in Dale Brand's pit, this team can't seem to shake the bad luck despite making it out of round 2 for the first time in 3 races.
We snapped the front end off the crankshaft, broke the crankshaft in 2 on that pass. The car was running strong. We was really proud of what the crew was doing, and here in eliminations, we hadn't stood on it yet. We was getting ready to really let her have it in the finals, and I think we had the field covered, but we didn't get a chance to prove it.
We've got the finals covered at the Carquest Auto Parts Autumn Nationals coming up right after this.